Hi, it's Rabbi Alex. I'm actually here in my car for Torah Thoughts this week, because the title of this Torah Thoughts is, Are You Coming or Are You Going? Ever feel like you're unsure whether you're coming or going and coming? This is the experience of the Israelite people in this week's double portion, Matot, Masei, which concludes the book of Numbers. In fact, in one verse alone, the Hebrew version of the words coming, motzehem, and going, maseihem, are listed twice, both times in the opposite order. Sforno, a medieval Jewish Torah commentator, also known as Obadiah ben Jacob, points out how difficult it must have been to have been constantly uprooted in their lives. Sometimes, he argues, it was harder for the Israelites to leave, and sometimes it was harder for the Israelites to arrive. Sforno, who lived in Italy in the 15th century and early 16th century, understood the perils of travel. Much of his adult life was spent in Rome, where he was known as the rabbi to the Pope. But as the circumstances for Jews in Europe changed, he was forced to wander by himself for several years, writing letters to his brother Hananel about the difficulties he faced along the way. Eventually, he was able to settle near his brother in Bologna, where he lived out the rest of his life in peace. The Hebrew word for coming, motzehem, is actually closer to where they find themselves. It is often translated as their starting point in various English editions of the Torah. Last week at Camp Havaya, my rabbinic counterpart, Rabbi Fred Scherlender-Daub from Adat Shalom in Bethesda, Maryland, taught about bioregionalism, an environmental discipline which encourages us to really know the place where we are residing. It asks the questions like, do you know the ecology of the region, the sources of water, the plants and animals that live here, what foods are grown there, all with the hope of better understanding our starting points. He uses a Hasidic teaching which features a rabbi lost in the woods. The rabbi comes across another person who's lost. He says, "Come, let's be lost together. Alone we may not know where we are or where we're headed, but together we'll figure it out." Have a great rest of your week, and I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.